Hi, I'm Kendall Koste, and I am a visionary lifestyle coach. I have a company called Shine Brightly. I've always been in outside sales, very successful career in real estate, pharmaceutical sales, also advertising. And I've gotten to a point, or I did about 2 years ago, where I'm just burned out and ready to start something else. Upon looking at my entire career, I learned that I do burn out about every 10 to 12 years. And I go into something that's related, but something that's maybe a new challenge for me, maybe a new adventure. And I love helping people lead a big life. And many times when I've gone through challenges in life, people have been like, wow, you always are so positive and come out on top. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a choice there, right? That is how I'm wired, but it's also a choice I make every day. So I started studying burnout and decided I was going to be a burnout coach. And it has evolved into, I can help you with burnout, but it's actually evolved into helping women take a place they are in their lives and figure out how to move to the next step to lead this big, fabulous life of things that maybe they hadn't thought of doing. Bucket lists are very important to me. And I have found through talking with other women that A, they might not have a bucket list. B, they don't know where to start. And C, they're afraid to take the actions to implement those things. So I have been doing vision board workshops and vision boards for about the last 15 years. And that gives me a place where I can start visualizing big things in my life and start believing in them. So most of my work is centered around vision boards and making your visual bucket list and then believing in yourself enough to know that you can have everything on that list. It might take time, and it's going to take a combination of believing in it and then also doing the action. But once you do that, and once you do one or two things on your vision board or in your visual bucket list, whatever you'd like to call it, it really snowballs, and all of a sudden you're going on the trip you've always wanted to go on, or you're buying the car you've always wanted to go on, or even traveling alone. So there's so many things that everybody can do. I especially like showing women the next steps and how to believe in themselves that anything is possible. All humans long for connection, whether that's a family connection, a work connection, or just finding your tribe. We all have our strengths. We all have our things that we do best. When we share those with others, it reinforces us to go back and learn more. A great example is the community within the Ideal Life. I bring a set of skills that probably the other coaches don't have. And so when I run into a client or a customer that needs someone else, like financial planning, you don't want me to do your financial planning unless you want to spend it all, and I'm good at that. But I can refer that to someone in my community, like the Ideal Life, and know that it's somebody that has been vetted and somebody that also believes that the most important thing is helping people. And when we do help people, we're paid back in spades. So I truly believe that a woman shines brightly when she knows three things. One, who she really is. We come into this world, or we get into this world and we think who we're supposed to be all the time, right? Knowing who you really are is essential. Knowing who, without the mask, who you are when you're by yourself, when you're at your best is important. So we do a lot of work on, hey, who are you without the mom mask, without the daughter, the sister, whatever mask? Who are you really authentically? And then we go into what do you really want, right? Especially if somebody's doing a career change. I have found that I want to grow and learn new skills, and I don't like to do the same thing over and over again. There are plenty of people that do. And if you want that, that's fantastic. But if you're looking for something else, we figure out what you really want in life. That is not always material things. That is how you want to feel every day when you wake up, what you want to do, whether it's travel or yoga or volunteering. And all those things help create a path of what you want, right? And then the third step in my process is you have to believe it, right? You not only have to believe it, but you have to be willing to take the action steps to get there. And that's what I think makes my coaching kind of special, is because I do believe in manifestation. I do believe there's a lot of power out there and energy in the universe where we can manifest, but I also believe we have to take responsibility for it and do the things that get us to the next level, right? So it's kind of a little woo-woo and a little very practical business that makes my program successful. And in the end, it always ends up with a vision board, right? So once we find out who you are, what you want, and you really are ready to believe in yourself, let's put it down on a vision board. Let's look at it every day. Let's mark things off. Let's tell our community when we mark things off. And one of the things that I like to do is have everybody share their vision board at the end of the class so that I know what they want, that they are saying it out loud. It makes it more real. It makes it seem real. And then we're having our friends or our coworkers be accountable to us, right? So when you say it, when you put it on paper, more likely to happen. When you say it out loud, more likely to happen. And then we really believe it and take the action steps, really it can all happen. You can't just say it and want it. You got to do your part, right? Yeah. And that's what I love about Mark's book is that you got to do your part, right? And that's why when I read The Ideal Life and I was talking to the guys at the Ideal Life, it was like, bam, that meets me right where I am with women, is that think it, dream it, know your vision, then do the work. So I think the advice I would give somebody that's struggling with learning how to shine brightly is to hire a coach, right? Think about Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, even when he was at the Olympics, had like 6 or 7 coaches. Did he know how to swim? Yeah, he clearly knew how to swim when he got there. But he had people that were lifting him up. I'm sure some of those coaches were mindset. I'm sure some were nutrition. I'm sure some were technical. And that's what I love about the Ideal Life is that we have in this community people that are experts and that can help you with really any area of your life. I think that where I shine brightly is with women who are ready for change, right? And you have to be open-minded a lot of times to make changes. And a coach is someone that just guides you, right? I don't have all the answers, but what I can do is take what I see in you and what we talk about, and I can help you figure out who you are, what you want, and how to get there. I would love to work with you. If you are someone who wants to shine brightly, let's sit down and let's figure out who you really are, what you really want out of life. Let's figure out how to believe it's all possible and make a plan to get there.